Good morning, y'all. It is day 66, September 10th, and it is a beautiful morning. Let's see. Can you see behind me? Sun's coming up. There's kind of like an orange, a yellow. Y'all probably can't see it. Sky's really pretty. But I have to say, I don't ever like seeing the orange or red or anything in the morning. But I looked at the weather, like we had service at that shelter that I stayed at. Still can't tell you the name of the shelter. God, forget it. They have such weird names, man. I just don't get it. Like, definitely they give everything around on the Appalachian Trail names that you just possibly can't remember. So it doesn't matter. If you really want to know, it's that shelter on the south side of Greylock, and you can look it up. But anyways, usually when the sky has color like that, it means it's gonna rain or something. But so I checked the weather. We had reception, and it says we're good for until Thursday. Then there's a 40% chance, like early, like around 4 to 7 or something, early in the morning. So yeah, I think I'm hiking down into Cheshire. Then I'll go into the woods a little bit. Then I'll go through Dalton. I think Dalton's where I'm going to stop and reevaluate how much food I need to resupply and get it at like a grocery store. Just get whatever I can to get me to Great Barrington or Lee if I have to. But I need to go see this guy named Tom Lavardi in Dalton. I have a little bit of business with this guy. I hope he's home. So that's one side trip I have to make, and then the convenience store. So I'm I'm hoping to get about like 16 and a half in today. I'd be happy with that. But if I don't get that much, I'll still be happy. If I get more than that, I'll be still just as happy. So yeah, I'm ready to get on hiking southbound, of course, and see what lies ahead, and I will get back with y'all. All right. Hey y'all. So I'm almost to Cheshire, but see this tree right here in this spot? I remember this so vividly from 2016. And so yesterday when I was thinking of a camp spot, I was like, man, I remember a really cool looking tree in a meadow with a spot right under it. But I just wasn't sure 100%. And I was like, I remember there were houses nearby, I thought, but there is one back there, but it's behind the tree line, so they would never see you if you put your tent right there. And I mean, look at that. Right under this tree with the white blaze, all the goldenrod. all around. And then that view, man, it would have been such a great camp spot. Oh well, can't go back in the past. Maybe I'll just set my tent up here and do a Nero and stay here all day. Nah, I better keep going. So I'm gonna keep hiking southbound and I'll get back with y'all. All right. Man, check out this corn. It's ready. It's definitely almost ready. So the whole time I've been hiking through this cornfield, I'm just waiting for some red-haired kid named Malachi to jump out and be like, "All adults must die." And I'll be like, "Not today, Malachi, not today." Hey y'all, so that was Cheshire. Man, nice little town, quiet, super quiet, and but you saw that sign at the end. It said, "Please be respectful to our trail neighbors," and that sign's new. And I mean, they shouldn't even have to put up signs like that. To me, it's common sense. The trail goes through a community. Of course, I'm going to be respectful. I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to be courteous and polite. I mean, that should go without saying. It's so sad that they have to put up those signs. Alright y'all, I made it to Dalton. So I think you walk a good bit through this town, and I think I do go by that Tom Lavardi's house, who I'm hoping he's home. And then I think I go by like a Cumberland Farms or something, where I'm gonna have to stop and see how far I have to Great Barrington, and then just get enough food for there to make it to there. Or if I decide, maybe I'll just drop in Lee and get food, so I don't have to carry a lot. But I think it'd be better just to get enough to get to Great Barrington. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep on walking through town, and I will get back with y'all when I get wherever I get to. All right. Hey y'all, so I just walked through Dalton. So I stopped at the Cumberland Farms just to get some resupply, because I was looking. I think I got enough to get me, it's like 48 miles, or once I get to where I was gonna go, it'll be like less than 40, about 44 miles to Great Barrington, which, I mean, it's 2 days, not even, like 2.5 days. So I just got me food just bought a bunch of junk that I can have to eat. And it definitely should be enough. Of course, my pack's heavy now. And then I bought a big old slice of pizza and a Gatorade and a soda and some candy and ate it all for lunch. And I sat on the side of Cumberland Farms and talked to my wife and ate it. And my wife right now is vacationing in St. Augustine Beach, and I'm not jealous at all. Not at all. I'm happy out here. But anyways, yeah, so here's the thing. Oh yeah, and I went to by Tom's house, Tom Lavardi's house. He was not home, so I don't know. But the thing is, when I was at Cumberland Farms, I met these two guys, and they were like these two just biker dudes, blue collar worker guys. And they were asking me if I was gonna stay at Tom's house, and I go, I wasn't planning on staying there, but I was planning on having him drive me to this place. And the guys are like, oh wow, if we had known, I would have definitely brought you something. And they were like, but then they were like, oh man, that place, it's really expensive and there's long lines. And they're like, but you know, it'd be a cool experience since you're from the South. And I was like, yeah, that's what I was thinking. It'd be a cool experience. But then I got to thinking, I'm like, you know, expensive, a line. Then I have to have Tom drive me there and back. I'm like, but it's only 2 o'clock. The shelter's only 2.5 miles away. The next shelter after that's 12 miles. There's no camping in between. In Massachusetts, they want you to camp at the shelters or the designated tent spots. Now here's the thing. There's a brook that's 7 miles. That would be perfect for me. And but the comments, the first comment is, please don't camp here. It's the water supply for so-and-so town. But it's funny because that same water supply comes from up in the mountains, just like the water supply in I think it was Cheshire. And they don't want you camping there either, but it's the same water supply that comes from up above where you can buy the shelters. So it's kind of the same water supply. So I think it's just an excuse. Just like in New Hampshire, they were like, oh, reforested zones or forest preservation zones were always conveniently around the huts, so you couldn't camp there. So here's the thing. I have 2.5 miles. It's 2 o'clock. I'll probably get there at 3:30, and I'll have all that time. Now I can just keep hiking 12 miles, which by the time I get to the next shelter, it'll be 16.7 miles that I already hiked. So that would be a lot, like, I don't know, like a 28-mile day. And plus, I don't want to hike another 12 miles, but 7 miles would be great. But like I said, there's a comment that says you could fit 4 tents here, and then the MATC is like, please don't camp here. Da, 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 da. You're only allowed to camp so and so. So And I'm sure they have signs and stuff. So I don't know. I guess I'm going to be stuck going to that shelter and only doing 16.7. And if I did the other one, I could get 4 more miles in, which would be about 20, which would be great. But you know, I don't want to go there and camp there and have someone like bother me and tell me to leave in the middle of the night. I just don't want to deal with that. So I guess I'm just gonna saunter my way up and camp at that shelter 2.5 miles and just get there super early. But it's one of those days anyways. It's overcast. It says 0% chance of rain on the weather thing, so I don't know. It's one of those sleepy days anyway, so I guess I'll just get there at the shelter and edit my video and go to sleep early. The truth is, last night I went to sleep at 8:30, woke up at 5:45 today, which is a lot of sleep, and was dead tired. I did not want to get up. My body's starting to go through that thing where it just wants to sleep like 10, 11, 12 hours a day, like dead sleep. But that's the one thing I remember in 2016 is I never slept so good in my life. And just like it's been like for, I don't know, about a month now, I've just been sleeping so hard. And man, and it's funny, I sleep so much better in my tent than when I go to these hotel rooms. But yep, I guess I'm gonna get to hiking only 2.5 miles. I'm gonna get there early, and I gotta play by the rules, you know how it is. So I'll get back to y'all when I get there. All right. Alright, y'all, this is my home for the night. Can't remember what the shelter name is because I just don't care anymore. There's the shelter right there. Red roof. And there's a dirt pad there. One below it. And then 3. And then there's another dirt pad right there. And I think there's actually 2 more down there. And then there's a spot you could camp right next to the shelter. So, I don't know. Probably put about like 8 tents here. They don't want you camping down below where the water is. It's kind of a thing here in Massachusetts. Seems like they don't want anyone camping near the water. But anyways, hey y'all. So I wanted to let y'all know I am at the K Wood Shelter. I always forget the names of these shelters, so I looked it up, and I told you, just in case. I know some of y'all might like to look at your AWOL guide or your Gut Hooks guide and see where I'm at exactly. So I'm at the K Wood Shelter in Massachusetts. The funny thing is 2016, I came here, I was going to camp, and when I got up there, there was like, I don't know, it was full. There was no places to put my tent. The shelter was full, and I was like, man. And so I just got a bunch of water, and I hiked, and I'm not even point 1. There was this little campsite, and I passed it coming here, and I remember I put my Nemo there, and there was a little fire pit, and I had a fire that night, and it just brought back so many memories, and I don't know, it just put a big old smile on my face. It was weird, because I remember it so vividly. And then I was like, yep, I remember the shelter I'm going to. But when I got here, there was only one other guy here, and that's kind of why I walked away. Um, he, I don't know, he when I first came up, he was cussing a lot, and he's to himself. Now I do that too sometimes, so that's not a big deal. And then I noticed he has big old clunky like carpenter boots on and cotton pants and cotton shirt, which a lot of people hike in that. But he keeps going back and forth to the bear boxes. Like he can't make up his mind where he wants to put his food. Oh man. So I don't know. He may be a little disturbed. So I hope he's not like the violent kind. Jeez. Anyways, it's just him and me, no one else. I guess it's getting that time of year. But it is like a Tuesday night, and that makes sense, I guess, why there's not a lot of people here. And there aren't a lot of Sobos around me right now. And definitely not no Nobos. I did see a Nobo yesterday though, going up Greylock, which I was like, what? But anyways, I do not think he's gonna make it. There's no way. But anyways, what else was I gonna say? Oh, those two guys in the Cumberland Farms. I meant to say this. They were really nice guys, right? And they were so when I went to pay for my resupply, they had gave the cashier $15. So like my resupply came out to like $22. They paid like pretty much half of it. Well, not quite half of it, but a good chunk of it. So that was awesome. And yeah, so I don't know where that term masshole comes from. Everyone in Massachusetts so far seems really friendly and awesome. Um, but that was not my experience in 2016, which is weird. But everyone I've met so far is awesome, and I hope it stays that way. It's like bringing a new light on Massachusetts for me. But anyways, I think that was all I was gonna say. Um, so yes, so what I'm planning on doing tomorrow is hiking near Upper Goose Pond, and it's so crazy that I'm already almost to Upper Goose Pond. Um, but in 2016, so it's point 0.5, it's a half mile off the trail, right? So I hiked up to it. When I got there, it was just packed, jam packed. It was the weekend, but there was tons of through hikers, tons of just weekend hikers, tons of people. So I actually hiked back a half mile to this lake, to Upper Goose Lake, and there was this spot that was just jewel, and I camped there. And I can't remember if it seemed like it was big enough where I could put my duplex. I think I could figure it out regardless. But I'm thinking I'm gonna go to that spot, not Upper Goose Pond, not to the shelter, the cabin, I mean, but to that same spot I camped at. Um, I think that's what I'm going for, and that's like 18 miles, which is a good day, which is about what I want to do tomorrow. So I think that's what I'm going to go for tomorrow. But it's kind of cool that in 2016 I hiked from there, pretty much from there to this spot, just like point one to here, and then this year I'm hiking pretty much from the same spot back to that other spot. So I don't know. It's kind of a cool thing to me, anyways. Yeah. So guess I'm gonna walk back to the shelter, and I will get back with y'all. All right. Hey y'all. So I'm gonna end it for tonight. So let's see. Today I started at the Martin Opel shelter. That was the one just below Greylock, and I hiked through the town of Cheshire. Then I hiked through the town of Dalton and resupplied. and then I hiked up to the K Wood shelter. All in all, I did 16.7 miles today. Not huge, but not small. I'll take it. Tomorrow, planning on getting up early again, and I'm going to do that 18 to Upper Goose, and hope that camp spot's still there and just as awesome as it was. If not, then I might just keep going and look for a still spot. Or I can just backtrack a half mile, which would not be cool, but to that cabin. And actually, it would be a mile because I have to backtrack a half mile, then hike a half mile out trail. But I think that spot will be there. I'm going to gamble on it and see. Do my first stealth in Massachusetts and break the rules. I feel a rebellious streak coming on for tomorrow. So I'm just planning to do it. Let me see. All in all, awesome day. Pretty warm. It was kind of overcast, but I don't know. The sun would come out from time to time. I don't know. It was nice. Seemed like it would rain sometimes, but it never did. And the weather said it wouldn't, and it didn't. Yeah, so awesome day. And until tomorrow, I'll talk to you then. All right.